After the storms of the last winter, we were obviously without power for a length of time and lacking of information coming in because we had no internet, no power, no mobile phone signals. So what we wanted to do was create some resiliency within the community, starting off with resilience in the households, but then have a location where residents could come to gain information and pass information out to the community, and also come and recharge laptops, mobile phones, and just get hot drinks and hot food.
My responsibilities were to put together a leaflet that we could use for household resilience so that if we had an event again, people would know how best to prepare at home. We printed 2,000, quite a large area, mostly urban, with a small rural community. We distributed these by hand, going around the villages and then out into the countryside at weekends. Funding came from SSE as part of a much larger funding package they gave us, but we used in our application some of that to go towards printing and distributing this leaflet.
The challenge we have in this particular area is, whilst we have a reasonably high population, it's very sparsely populated, so it's a very large geographical area. If we were living, perhaps in the centre of town and so on, there's facilities that you can use, but the challenge we had here was with trees across the roads and so on, there was just no central facility where people could go and get information, so that's why we decided to set them up here.
So the hubs are part of a sort of second tier. If a storm arrives, ideally you want to have some contingency at home, but where the storm might last or the impact might be greater or longer, the hubs serve as a place for people to come, so they can get information, they can get hot water, food, and also to tell us that they might need some help, and we'll have a small group of people that will be able to find help until the emergency services arrive and take over. So we have a hub here in Aboyne at the Scout Huts, we have a hub at the village hall in Dinnet, and then another hub at Kincardine O'Neill, which again is the village hall, and then the Coates Room on Glentanner Estate.
So we were fortunate that the hub in Aboyne already had a generator, but we didn't have anything in Kincardine O'Neill or Dinnet, so the generators will provide power to those hubs. We applied for a grant from SSEM, we received £20,000 worth of funding. The vast majority of that will go on the 2 generators, but in addition to that, it will provide the equipment we need at the 4 hubs, just for very basic things like teas, coffees, hot food, so on. It's allowed us to kit those out so that we're now in a much better place than we were this time last year.